Greetings and welcome. My name is Jake Rayson. I am a wildlife and food forest garden designer, and I am on site with an exciting new project. The project name is Bedw, which is Welsh for silver birch. And yeah, I'm just going to go through the different parts. This is ready for the client, just to give an overview of the different parts, and it's also for me as well. Okay, so the entrance is down a track about 30 metres from the road, small back road, and it is south is that way, and there's the house, and then north is that way. So it's kind of southwest facing house, parking area, wood store. There's a vegetable garden in here, there's a slate wall. And then we come in. So the bit that I'm actually doing, and it's one of those things, it's always the way, the garden always relates to other parts of the garden. So even though I'm only working on that patch down there, it relates to everything else here. So I've just got some broad ideas for these parts. I'll just start off with the kind of entrance. So the first thing really, when you're coming down here, this is all open to the track, and the track kind of continues down there, and the seating area here is very open and kind of exposed, and that's open and exposed not necessarily in terms of how much wind there is, but it's how it feels when you walk into it. And so if you come down here and there's people sat here, it's that intimacy, that privacy thing. So the first thing I would say is long term, not this is stage 2 or whatever the project, that's the bed that I'm going to be working on, but here is to turn this into a bed all the way down that side of that path, turn it into a bed. It's going to be hardcore, it's going to be a track on there, but it's to have some sort of hedging here, some sort of 1.5 metre high plants here, and the same on this bed. This is like a stone raised bed, but it's to have 1.5 metre plants on it, just providing screening. And it doesn't have to be evergreen necessarily. I would say kind of shrubby rather than a herbaceous perennial, just for that kind of year-round protection like at this time of year. But just something, plant this up, treat this as an ornamental bed as well, and then get this kind of here. Not too high because the sun's coming this way. So yeah, so this bed, and then you continue that theme down here with the hedging. So hedging here, and then the kind of hedging, but like a screen here as well. I'm not going to go into detail on that because there's loads of questions about everything. No point going into more detail. So there we go. So the next part is the entrance in here. Now this track takes you down to the river, and there's I'll show you. So there's the sunroom there, and the patio here, which is kind of southwest. It's kind of northish facing, and then yeah. So this area here, I think, is really important again to get a bit of shelter. It doesn't have to be very tall, but just something here that protects this seating area. We go around the corner. And I think this make it stage 2 or 3 or whatever the project, again turn all that into a bed, so that you've got a bed, a track, a path, and then a bed. And this is the bed I'm working on. And then again, likewise here, you want to have the bamboo up. The bamboo is, you want to have the kind of screening here, less important at this point here because it's nice to have views through here, but you can see it will screen those cars there, and yeah, it will just screen the track, so you see, you still got a sense of you can come through. And then here I'm just thinking about an arch of sorts, even if it's like trees which are kind of grow together, but an arch into the garden. Yeah, so again, you're not kind of going straight in, there's an arch which comes into the garden. Again, stage 2. Right, let's talk. So I want to talk about the lawn because this gives context to this bed here. Yeah, so with the lawn, you go through the arch. Oh, and there's a step up here. I think it's really useful that if you are in the space here, there's a door. There's doors at the there and then another door on the other side, but you're coming through, you want to be able to go straight down onto the country walk. You can take a step down through the arch and then you're out into the pathway. So that's the kind of first thing. And the second thing is this connection here. Now, that's north, facing north, so you're not going to lose any sunlight if you have some hedging there. So what I would suggest doing, and this is stage 2 or stage 3, is to get the red cornice Siberica I think it is, and then have it running all the way. So I've put bits of bamboo in, but have it running all the way around the edge of that lawn. And there's a path there as well, running all the way. And then that way, that provides a backdrop of colour, and it just provides more kind of enclosure here. And the other reason for doing it is if we come in here, it's all very boggy. The pond is another project in its own, so I'm not going to go into that. But so you're coming down here. There's some steps down here. Is that this part here? So I've got the bamboo. You can see here and here. That'll provide protection from the north, and they're easy to propagate. And it runs all the way along and provides some continuity, but also the sun that's south that way. So this is actually one of the sunniest spots in the garden. So what I would do is just this little corner, possibly over here. There's some steps going down here, but just make use of this space down here and actually kind of, not now, but build up on it. So you've got a hedge behind you, and that's facing south, and it's like a really nice spot. Now there's a path which goes this way, and a path that goes up that way. But that again, long term. But you need that hedge there to provide that shelter and that kind of sense of that you'd actually want to be out here. At the moment, it's just open to the elements. So yep, but this ties in with the context with the garden. So there's the pond, back up the sunroom, and it comes down here. I think this is a septic tank, not 100% sure. It looks like it, big concrete thing, and there's a drain cover there. And then you go, wow, that's brilliant. I love that cornice Siberica on there. Okay, so that's kind of idea. Red dogwood all the way round, and then eventually make more use of that south-facing space over there. So now I just want to come round here. So I'm by the pond, sunroom, and then coming at the other angle. Now there is a track here. You turn this into a path. There is kind of a path here already. The bank runs here. Plant the bank up, have that path going down. So again, you can go that way if you're in the garden, or you can go that way out to the track. And then this is the bed here, absolutely stuffed full of blackthorn, concrete and boulders and clay. I think this is a Himalayan balsam, absolutely stunning. So again, if you had dogwood behind it, that'd be amazing. So I put the bamboo here for the dogwood, and then we've got this bed here that she'll be working on. And you come down this way, and then you're back out on the path down to the woodland. There's the outbuildings, and then there's the track up. Okay, so now we're going to get into the bed itself. Here we are, and this is the bed that I'm working on. So we've got a line of dogwood, imagine, stretching up that way. Oh, there's an awful lot. There's other stuff I'd say about that, but I'm not going to go there. This bed here has, I really think, it runs up to the house. This really needs to be some sort of dividing line, and I don't know how. It doesn't have to be that high because it's not kind of shielding anything, but there does need to be some sort of structure or wall or something or planting here just to kind of separate it, or maybe possibly just, if it provides a continuity with the kind of hedging stuff there. But the big issue, so yeah, I'm a bit open about this at the moment because it really depends. Now what it depends on is what's happening underneath here. I think there is a big slab of concrete under there. That bank has been piled up with a load of rubble, and there's a load of blackthorn growing on it. So first things first, get rid of the blackthorn roots. They're running all the way along. Get rid of the blackthorn roots. Second thing is to remove the topsoil. This will be a digger, because there's no point planting in here. You can't really plant any trees in. There's a witch hazel, and I'd say something like an ornamental, edible North American hawthorn would be an ideal tree for this spot, because they're tough as old boots and they're very beautiful, and they have edible fruit and beautiful flowers and etc. autumn colour. But there's no point putting that in if you just got a slab of concrete. It just makes life a bit more, makes it difficult. There's only about 2 inches all the way over there. There's only about 2 inches, and you can put it in a pocket, and then yeah, it's not really good. So what I'd recommend doing is to get a mini digger in, remove the topsoil, and put that topsoil somewhere in, pile it up somewhere, and then put the stone somewhere as well, and then smash up the concrete and remove the concrete. There are large piles of concrete here, and there's stuff here, and I know there's kind of the ruins around there, more kind of aggregate kicking about the place, and this is why I'm really unsure about what goes on with this dividing line. Is like, what do you do with all the concrete, all the aggregate? Now, one idea, and I don't know if this will work or not, you can build a wall. The walls take ages to build and they're expensive. The possibility, and I'm not 100% convinced, is to use gabions. So you'd have a gabion running on that side, like a low gabion wall running down there. If you've got a digger, and this is where it starts to get interesting. So the digger comes in, you're removing the topsoil. This part looks all right. I mean, as in, there's boulders in here, but I've had a dig around, and it does seem there is actually like boulder clay underneath. So that's not so bad. It's more that bit over there with a slab of concrete under. So scrape off that bit, and if you've got the digger in, then you might as well start. It depends how you want to play it, but you might want to scrape this bit and start creating these beds on this side, possibly, or just have the digger in and do it in one go, and then use all that waste along this part here, all the aggregate. Put the aggregate into a low, slightly curved gabion wall, which is providing habitat, and it's somewhere to put all that stone and everything, and it can be quite beautiful as well. Right, so now we've cleared the topsoil, moved it over to one side, dug out the concrete, created a gabion wall down here, all very low gabion wall, all very nice, all very, all going to plan, and then possibly importing some more topsoil. Depends on what what there is underneath. I don't want to dig away any more of that. Keep that bank there, as it's kind of quite nice to have that anyway. Blackthorn's all gone, and let's talk about planting. So this is a weeping, I guess, a weeping crab apple. I need to find out what it is actually, which one. So that's here, and then rough plan is a North American hawthorn. So there's scarlet hawthorn, Kansas hawthorn, blue hawthorn. There's some really nice ornamental hawthorns, quite commonly grafted onto a native northorn rootstock, so tough as old boots, very beautiful, and would do really well here. And then the other one is I would put a tough plant, Aronia. I mean, or possibly a Saskatoon, Amelanchier might do well. It's damp. Amelanchiers would do really well as well. So I'll have a think about that. But they're kind of like low shrubs, 1.5, 2 meter shrubs, and then that will be like 3 meter tree here, and then you've got this 2 meter, 2.5 meter tree here, and then you've got shrubs coming in. So you have shrub, tree, and then plant this up with kind of ornamentals in this area here, more kind of like lower growing stuff. So it kind of ramps up to the back with shrubs, and then it goes up to the hawthorn will be there, and up to the silver birch up that way. So this is a bit I'm going to have a think about, is what to plant up. What I really would do as well as part of all this is kind of get rid of the grass, which is why if you've got a bed here, it makes sense if you've got gabions to get rid of that grass, because otherwise the grass will grow in and on to the gabions and it'll be a bit of a nightmare. And if you're at it, you might as well, okay, well, let's get rid of that grass over that side. So once you get rid of the grass, it makes life a lot easier for all the other plants here. It's not going to continually creeping into the bed. And then let's go round. So that's the planting. Okay, let's go. There's lots of different species because, okay, if we keep in the rocks, then you want good drainage. South is that way, so it's getting a good amount of sun. Mind you're going to have the shrubs there as well. This will be kind of sunnier spot. Could be really good drainage if you kind of mix it up. There's lots of different options. But there we go. So let's have a look at the bank. I might as well. Should I do it on this one? I'll do it on this one. So we've got the bank here, and I would plant again. I'd plant this bank up where all the daffs are. We've got some iris down here, and this is the path that goes through. Yep, so nice because you've got a bit of access in here as well. Yeah, possibly some access into there, I think would be good as well. Just to get, because it's a big old space that you've got going on. And there's not that much, I mean, like a maintenance way, a maintenance path into this. So it's like a nice, you know, you can come in this way, little woodland path type thing, up onto this part, and then you can go in, and you can go left. Yeah, I think that would work well. Bank of red cornus, back round here, tree, path going down the middle, shrub. Yeah, that'd be nice. So that would be good. Yep. There we go. Last thing that I would do is to open up a path around this level, because the pond's just up there where the red dogwood is, and then there's a gully which comes down here, and there you can see the gully. And I just think it would be a really good idea, there's another path on the other side, to use a bridge and connect up the two different sides, so you've got another, a better flow, and then you can make that into much more usable space then, if you've got more access to it.